Philadelphia has a significant surplus of vacant land, mostly due to the abandonment of these properties. Neighborhoods with an influx of vacant land have seen property values drop after the city reassessed all properties as part of the actual value initiative.
For most cities, the property tax is the primary source of revenue. So when you've got vacant, abandoned property that is not, first of all, it's directly not generating any tax revenue, right? Because no one really is taking care of it or owning it, and usually they're delinquent on their taxes. But it's also depressing the property values of nearby properties, which further depresses property tax revenues.
Vacant properties in Philadelphia are currently held by a variety of city agencies. The Greater Philadelphia Association of Realtors is urging city officials to consolidate the management of all these properties into one agency with one inventory, one process of transfer, and one standard of maintenance.
Well, the basic idea is that rather than dealing with multiple city agencies for multiple parcels, you only have to deal with one. Moreover, those city agencies may not, in particular, even though the city may have an incentive to sell, that agency may not have an incentive to sell because they're busy doing other things. The law department is busy dealing with the law. The housing authority is busy dealing with managing its portfolio of rental properties. Dealing with a developer who wants to buy just one parcel from you is relatively far down the list of the things they have to get done that day. But if you only have to deal with one agency that has specifically been charged with disposing of those vacant parcels, i.e. the redevelopment authority, now you're only dealing with one entity. Moreover, it's part of their mission to get rid of these properties, so they're more motivated and incentivized, and hence easier to deal with in acquiring these properties.
Marketable lands could also be sold to developers or investors to create green spaces that would also raise the neighborhood's property value.
The Pennsylvania Horticultural Society actually has a program called the Clean and Green Program. And what they do is they will acquire vacant lands. They will then work with the neighborhood community group to get it cleaned up. They'll remediate the soil, so they'll remove the top foot of soil and replace it with plantable soil. They'll put in grass, they'll put in a garden, they'll put in benches, trees, things like that. And then they will give some funding to the neighborhood to help maintain it over time. And since it is now in private hands, the city doesn't have to bear the cost of maintaining it. Since the space is improved and aesthetically and visually more appealing, it doesn't have as much of a blighting, depressing effect on nearby property values. And moreover, since the actual members of the community have worked to convert it to maintain green space, they're incentivized to keep maintaining it going forward because it supports their property value. It makes their neighborhood nicer. Plus, they have some skin in the game, if you will, because by actually using their own sweat equity to improve the lot, they feel as if they have a certain ownership of it, and they want to keep a good thing going forward.
Max Pulcini and Aaron Purcell, Philadelphia Neighborhoods, Access Philly.